All right, guys. So we've landed in Shanghai. You know, it's funny. The first thing that I see when you're flying into Shanghai after you've crossed the ocean is you see wind turbines and brownish water, like brackish water, which it's not all pollution. There's a lot of turbulence in this area. The water here is always pretty brown, but you see wind turbines, brackish water, lots of container ships coming out of Shanghai Harbor. And then you see there's and then as soon as you coast over the land, because those were all in the water, even the wind turbines were like water-based wind turbines right off the coast. But as soon as you get into the city or the land, you see a huge development of buildings, all like an entire community shooting up with sky cranes and everything. Each building at least 5 to 10 stories tall, and it's all being constructed around like city centers and parks and all sorts, like what I'm normally accustomed to in China, you know, but I actually never see in America. You never see like an entire community sprouting brand new, you know, just kind of here, boom, this is where we're going to put it, and it's going to have all the infrastructure for daily life, and it's all here. So that was kind of neat to see. I was like, oh, hey, oh look, welcome. There was like a living area center with like a bunch of apartment complexes, but then there was the city center, which had the taller buildings, like really fancy buildings. And one of these buildings, it was 2 towers, and then they had, think of it like a 4-sided pyramid, but turned on its side. So the pyramid was, one of the pyramids was stuck to the one side of the buildings, up really high, like above the 10th floor. And then the other side had another pyramid that was coming off of its side. And the points of the pyramids seemed like they almost touched but didn't. I'm not sure, you'd have to be on the land to see it, but I mean, at this point in time we were really, really close to the ground. So I saw this building with this just really interesting architecture, like really unique shopping malls and big shopping districts and crazy events buildings and expo centers and stuff. It was that's one of the things I really like about China, is just the energy of that sort of growth. And it's been 3 years, so like I haven't been here in a while. So I'm really excited to kind of like see what has changed, see what hasn't changed, the good, the bad. But yeah, anyways, it's a bit dreary and rainy, which for Shanghai is not too far off the mark. It's not like this is not strange to me, so that's a very similar. Shanghai has some beautiful days, but a lot of times I've seen this time of year Shanghai a little bit dreary. So welcome to rainy China. The drive to Ningbo is about 4 hours, so we're leaving Shanghai Pudong International Airport, and so we'll be on the road. It's kind of an interesting drive, actually, from Pudong Airport to where I'm staying in Ningbo. I'm staying at Annie's sister's place, my sister's place, and so she lives in downtown Ningbo in Yinzhou. Pudong Airport's a little offset from the center of downtown Shanghai, and so you kind of skirt around the downtown area, and then you head across the Hangzhou Bay. The Hangzhou Bay Bridge, which you drive on, used to be the longest bridge in the world for quite some time. I think it's like 35 kilometers long, something crazy like that. And it just goes all the way across the bay. It has a couple of points where it really rises up to allow container ships and stuff to go underneath. But you're on that bridge for quite some time. And then afterwards you drive through, you basically see tidbits of this part of China, because you go inland China, it's different, but the coastal China, you've got the big cities, you've got ports, You've got ocean-based wind farms and land-based wind farms, like a lot of like alternative energy evidence. You've got big, heavy highways with a lot of traffic. You have a lot of vertical living, and then you have a lot of farmlands too. That's growing everything from strawberries to to rice. They're growing a lot of stuff around here, especially in the adjoining areas, because the Hangzhou Bay kind of is it's a murky area. So even when you go over the Hangzhou Bay, there's all sorts of people in large wading suits, and they're going in and they're pulling up shellfish and things like that, and they're farming shrimp and things like that, because the Hangzhou Bay obviously is tidal, so it raises up, and it's pretty much all water. And then if you get it at low tide, man, I mean, if you get it at low tide, the Hangzhou Bay, it exposes just miles or kilometers of muck, like just kilometers of lowland area that's just exposed at low tide, and people race to kind of get out there and do some productive things with that area while it's exposed. But there's also, geez, we're going to pass by a city that I've covered, actually, that was being built that was sprung out of nowhere. Back 4 years ago, I explored this city. It was it's like basically a Geely city. Geely is an automotive brand here. That's the other thing. I'm in a car driving to home, and we went to the parking lot at the Pudong airport, and it was just Chinese brand, Chinese brand, Chinese brand, Chinese brand. You guys have never seen any of these brands if you're in the West. And they're all parked in the parking lot. A lot of very quiet. A lot of less combustion engines. Just a lot of like electronic vehicles driving around. Just interesting. Anyways, I'm curious about this Geely city that last time I saw it was pretty much piecemeal. I won't be able to see it close up, but I'll drive past it. I know it's on the drive. It feels good to be back. I have been on this drive, geez, I don't know, it has to be almost 50 times. The ride from Shanghai to Ningbo, or Ningbo to Shanghai. I was able to set up my phone for AT&T International Day Service. I'm paying $12 for the next 24 hours of service. But I'm meeting somebody tomorrow, and I'm getting my old SIM card. My old number got expired, basically, because I hadn't used it in so long. It just basically, it basically was an open number again. But I was able to secure that number. So my old number now will be my current new number. And maybe every 6 months, if I don't get back here very often, I should make some calls on it so I'm actually using it, even if I'm in America. But so I'm getting that. I also have to revive my bank account, like I said in my last episode. We're stopping on the way. We're going to my dad's house, Annie's father, and he went through a couple of spots of cancer. He seems okay now, but esophageal and some things in his lung. It was not touch and go, but it was stressful. But he's always been a really skinny guy, and now with the recovery and everything, he's even more skinny. But he likes this milk, this milk protein mix that we get in the United States, and he seems to put on more weight with it. More weight, he's 100 pounds. I'm not 100 pounds. He's a little bit more than that. He's almost like Eva and him are almost the same weight, which is crazy. Because I could eat two of him. I'm a big dude. Anyways, I'm bringing 3 boxes of that milk. One of my bags is 15 kilos of just that milk, and then I have another 5 kilo container of it in my other luggage. So we're gonna go drop that off, and then I don't know. My flight was delayed so long. Apparently, Delta is having some problems with their caterer, whoever puts the food on the plane, and they're having some real issues with that. And we had to wait. It was delayed by an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, my flight. So it landed late, and So we're skimping on time. Tomorrow I have a health check to go to early, as I discussed in the last episode. But it's a little bit stressful now because I'm going to see family, a Chinese family, in the first time in 3 years. And if anybody knows Chinese families, when their relatives come home from far away after 3 years, especially if they're Laowai like me, they want to fatten you up. So I'm gonna have to be like, "Puya, puya, puya, shishi, puya." No thanks, no thanks. I cannot eat anymore. I already told him I have a health check. I can't drink or eat anything after 7-8 p.m. and we're getting close to that anyways. 3 hours to get home. 3 hours. Yeah, they've made some highway improvements here in Ningbo. It used to take 4 hours, I remember. But they've been able to shave that down. Just wanted to give you guys a little update, tell you what's going on. I've gotten a lot of messages from people in Ningbo and in and around Guangzhou and Shenzhen and things like this. I'd like to organize 2 meetups. One meetup in Ningbo where friends can come and say hi, and just at a bar, I'll pick one. And then one meetup in Guangzhou, where I'll pick a place and we'll meet up. And so keep tuned. I know I'm putting this at the end of the video, so people might not even listen this far. But in the next video, I think as I start to digest my jet lag and stuff, I'll put out a bit of a message about where I'd like to meet and when. And maybe we can kind of organize through the videos here, because I'd really like to meet up with some people. So anyways, we're back home.